Welcome back, student. Today we will discuss about transmission line, unit number 5, how to prepare for final end semester examination for transmission line subject. Now the first thing I have already talked about in the last video lectures, that you need to complete study unit number 4 and unit number 6 along with all the bits, all the numericals. Once theory bits and numericals are covered by unit number 4 and unit number 6, you can skip. I say you can, I am not saying you should. So you can skip some of the points of transmission line so that you can appear for the examination to get good marks. Now in the transmission line also, some of the points that you need to focus on, I will just talk about the syllabus right now, because there are lengthy expressions in this particular unit which we cannot cover in these video lectures, because I need a blackboard and chalk, then I can discuss to you what is the significance of equation, but I can tell you what are the bits that you should not leave while preparing for this particular subject. Now in this transmission line subject, the transmission line starts with line parameters. So what are the line parameters? So the line parameter, whenever I am talking about the line parameters, are capital R, L, G and C. So what is R, L, G, C? Their expressions, their units. R unit is ohm, you can represent it in ohm per meter in case of transmission line. Unit of L, Henry, Henry per meter in case of transmission line. Unit of capacitance C, Farad, Farad per meter in case of transmission line. And unit of G is conductance, it is mho per meter in case of transmission line. So R, L, G, C are the transmission line parameters that you need to understand. This is the first theory question bit I have given to you. Now skein effect. What is skein effect? Whenever a wave propagates, so it penetrates it about 37% inside the body of the conductor, that one expression. So this is completely theory bit. So first two bit, line parameters and this skein effect, completely theory bits. The bits are given to you, but line parameters you need to do completely. No, you can skip this skein effect as an option right now, but if you understand this, you can write it in the examination. So line parameter is important. Then general solution. See, my recommendation to you is, general solution is lengthy. You need to solve certain big derivation where there are chances of you getting panic during examination if you don't remember certain next step expression. There are certain derivatives, integrations involved in it, so you can skip it. But general solution is important question in the examination point of view, which was asked 2 to 3 times in the previous examination. So general solution of the transmission line important, so it is 50-50 chance. So if it is asked in the last semester, try to avoid this question, but general solution is important. Then physical significance of equation, once again a theory bit. So what is the general solution? There are various forms of transmission line which can be represented in E bar and H bar. Then what this equation indicate, this is co-sinusoidal in nature. Then what is ZR, Z0. So there are different parameters that we need to look after. So what is the physical significance of this equation? Just go through. Then wavelength, lambda equal to 2 pi by beta. Velocity of propagation, small v or u is equal to omega by beta. And these are some expression, wavelength and velocity of propagation, that you need to understand. So significance of equation, wavelength and velocity of propagation you should do. So my recommendation to you, refer your class notebook in which these points are already covered, but you can skip because this is time consuming bit. If you are not confident about unit number 4 and 6, then you must prepare, otherwise you can skip the general solution. Coming back to the distortionless line, there are two types of line which we study, distortionless line and lossless line. So there is a difference between distortion and lossless. So in the distortionless line, we say that alpha is independent of frequency and beta is a linear function of frequency, then it is a distortionless line. And in the lossless line, we directly put alpha equal to 0. So alpha is not equal to 0 in distortionless line, but alpha is exactly equal to 0 in lossless line. So we say that every lossless line is a distortionless line, but vice versa is not true. I will repeat a statement, every lossless line is a distortionless line, but converse is not true. Then reflection on line. Whenever whenever I am talking about transmission line, certain load need to be connected at the load side. So if this load is not equal to Z0, that is characteristic impedance, we say that if ZR, that is load impedance, ZR is not equal to Z0, we call this line as a mismatch line. If the line is mismatched, what are the effect? So certain energy will be lost. So there are many cases where ZR is equal to short circuit, where ZR is open circuit, or ZR is not equal to Z0. In either of these three cases, the power which is sent by the generator cannot be delivered directly to the load, and there will be loss. If there is a loss, certain form of energy will be reflected back, and we will get reflections from the load toward generator. Reflection is an unwanted thing or unwanted what I can say, the phenomena in this transmission line theory, and we should avoid it. So in order to avoid that, we must always take care that ZR should be always equal to Z0. If this condition is matched, a maximum power will be transferred from generator to the load, and we will be thoroughly understand that there is no reflections, and if there is no reflection, then we can say that yes, it is okay. So what is the next point? Reflection on line not terminated in Z0. If it is not terminated, there are three cases that we will discuss: short circuit line, open circuit line, and mismatch line. So you just go through this theory. This theory is important to understand you further coming concept, but it is not directly asked in the examination till date. Then reflection coefficient. Whenever I am talking about reflection coefficient, it is denoted by small gamma or capital gamma. See, a reflection coefficient gamma, it is represented by capital gamma only. So reflection coefficient means amount of energy reflected to the amount of energy incident. It is similar to the point which we have studied in the unit number 6. So this reflection coefficient you need to study. It is represented by capital gamma. Then open and short circuited line. Once again, what we are talking about: reflection factor and reflection loss. So these are entirely theory. But if you start counting from this: reflection on line not terminated in Z0, reflection coefficient, open circuited, short circuited line, reflection factor and reflection loss, these all are completely theoretical bits. Along with that, standing waves. Whenever there is a standing wave, the propagation stops. Standing wave means the wave stands in the propagation, so that neither way propagation is possible. So the wave once which is standing, so standing wave ratio, we need to understand that standing wave ratio, yes, is equal to Vmax upon Vmin. We already know that Vmax and Vmin, some of the voltage maximas and minimas which are appearing along a line. If this Vmax and Vminimum, this denoted by standing wave ratio S, and if this standing wave ratio is significant, then wave propagation is not at all possible. So in these standing waves, what is node, what is anti-node, we'll try to understand. Once again, a theory bit. Standing wave ratio, input impedance. See, now from this point onwards, you must focus on this derivation kind. So these are important now. Input impedance of dissipationless line or lossless line. See, we have studied here distortionless. Now I'm talking about dissipationless. Dissipationless means it is a lossless line. So every dissipationless line is a distortionless line, but converse is not true. Input impedance of open and short circuited line. Now see, input impedance I am talking about. So one equation you know, that Zin is equal to ZR Z0 ZR Z0. So ZR cos beta L plus Z0 sin beta L divided by Z0 cos beta L plus ZR sin beta L, and outside that square bracket Z0 comes, and Zin equal to that one equation. If you just remember, you can try to remember these equation and you can derive further coming equation. So input impedance of dissipationless line, input impedance of open and short circuited line, and you can skip this point: power and impedance measurement on line, reflection loss, this is important. Now reflection losses on unmatched load, and problems using Smith chart. So what are the points which you are going to cover for preparation? Now see, you can do line parameter, skin effect, physical significance. You can skip that general solution. Physical significance of the equation, expression for wavelength lambda equal to 2 pi by beta, expression for velocity omega upon beta is equal to V, distortionless line. What is distortionless line? Reflection of line not terminated in Z0. If it is not terminated in Z0, what are the effects which can be observed? And reflection coefficient, open and short circuit line. Why I am giving stress? Because these are completely theory bit. If you start reading this is just like a story which we are reading, and no numericals usually asked. But whenever I am coming about this reflection coefficient, standing wave ratio, the problem of transmission line can solve by either two ways. It can either be solved by using a Smith chart, or they can be solved by normal method. So try to refer a notebook in the class as well as the your assignment notebook to try to solve some of the numericals related to it. Then if you just do the questions asked in the assignment and skipping this general solution, that's perfectly okay with you. Then standing wave ratio denoted by capital S and reflection coefficient denoted by capital gamma, these are important. Then input impedance of open and short circuited line, power and impedance measurement on line, reflection losses on unmatched load, and problem solving using Smith chart. So Smith chart guaranteed question of 8 or 10 marks. So what you can do, you just do the Smith chart and you do some of the important points of the transmission line. And if you still are confused about transmission line, refer the question papers, previous year question paper, and try to find out which are the most important question. So try to prepare those question, and even if you prepare unit number 4, 6 completely, and if you try to cover a Smith chart even, you can attempt 40 marks. You can attempt 40 marks. And already we have talked about unit number 1, 2 and 3 important questions. If you just refer those, it is more than sufficient for you to clear this subject. So right now I have just this information because there are many expressions which I cannot cover, and derivations are also which I cannot cover in this video lecture, and they are already covered to in the class notebook. So refer class notebook, refer assignment notebook, try to understand those concepts. In the next video I am coming with the Smith chart. So basics of Smith chart, will try to solve 1 or 2 numericals also in the Smith chart also, but I have a limitations on the video lecture. Whenever I am preparing a video lecture, I have certain limitations that you also need to understand. So we'll solve the Smith chart equation, Smith chart and some of the numericals of Smith chart in the forthcoming video lectures. Till then, you just start learning this transmission line also, and stay home, stay safe, and keep learning. In case of any doubt, feel free to ask to me. Thank you very much.